Welcome to the Food Science and Technology introductory video. This is a semester-long science class on food science and technology. So the class is designed to have it really address many of the food issues that we should know and just have never been taught in school. So it's a class that is for those people who love to experiment in their kitchen or play with food, who just are curious about how we process food, whether or not why some people can easily digest milk or gluten. Also, discussing how certain countries have different diets and why those diets are based on the way they are, and how we can use technology to actually address some of the world issues, including social justice issues, environmental issues, and world hunger. So it is a very much a hands-on, current issues, real-life class that offers less theory and more know-how, things that you really need to know in class about food. So the overview of what topics we're going to be learning in food science and technology is the biochemistry of food. For example, why is it that sugar, when heated, becomes a liquid? What is it about the polar molecule of sugar attracting to water? Things like that, where we actually take a look at our foods and try to understand why they behave the way they do. Also, how do we humans in our digestive systems actually process food? Why are some foods healthier than others? Also, we're going to be talking about the actual methods of farming, modern day methods versus historical methods, and looking how that impacts our environment, impacts social justice issues, and then also focusing on a healthier way forward in terms of our food system and discussing how we as consumers have the power to make an enormous change. So what can you expect in class? You can expect labs. We spend a large part of the class cooking. So we might be making things like kombucha. So we will be investigating fermentation. We're going to be growing any fruits and vegetables, particularly garlic and avocados. We'll be denaturing proteins by making cheese, caramelizing sugars by making candy. We're also going to work on creating recipes that you can take with you outside of this class that are economically inexpensive and also good for our planet and our bodies. I love taking field trips, and we are in the heart of the city where we actually have a lot of food that surrounds us. We have artisan food producers, but we also have an amazing farmers market, which we will frequent regularly. And we also have an amazing vegetable garden, fruit garden here in the Tenderloin called the Tenderloins People's Park. You will not have tests in this class. It is simply doing projects. One of the end of the semester projects you're going to be doing will be investigating food heritage that you are connected with. So how would I sort of envision this class? I'll use an example lesson. For example, we might be focusing on one ingredient. Here, the ingredient would be honey. The first thing we would do is explore what actually honey is and play with honey, and notice how when you actually drip honey down, that it changes how it moves. Sometimes it moves in a circle, sometimes in a line back and forth, discussing the physics of why that is. We're going to be tasting honey to see how different honeys from different pollen have a different taste and talk about what actually makes us taste these differences. We'll be talking about bee anatomy to actually learn how does a bee actually make honey, the physiology of it. Discussing human health, of how nowadays it is considered a great way to give kids, to give babies honey as a way of allergy resilience, and also as a medicinal, it has medicinal properties. And then discuss, for example, the natural history that honey is still something that you find in tombs in Egypt, and it's able to be eaten. And then lastly, talking about environmental issues such as how does a bee get impacted by what pesticides we're spraying, and why is it that it is in fact having some mass extinctions. I look forward to seeing you in the class. Bye.